சார் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா இல்லை வெயிட் பண்ணலாமா சார்? சிவா சார்
சொன்னால் ஓகே தான் சார். நான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறது நோ ப்ராப்ளம்.
ஒரு 2 மினிட்ஸ் பார்க்கலாமா இல்லை ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாமா சார்?
2 மினிட்ஸ் பார்க்கலாம் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே சார், சரிங்க சார். Sir, we can start, sir. I think it is 11:03.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good morning, students. Welcome back. Day 6 of 10 days summer camp on Python for beginners, right? Let's share my screen in full mode. I hope it is visible to all, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Wait for a minute, sir. Okay. Today, we are going to cover the topic of file handling in Python, right? So in that, we are going to cover first start with why do we need a file in Python, right? So next, types of files. What are the different types of files supported in Python, right? Then we are going to focus on what are the different modes of file handle in Python, right? And finally, we are going to discuss about the what are the various operations supported in file handling, right? So these are the topic to be covered in today's session. Okay. So first of all, I want to answer why do you need a file in programming generally? What is the purpose of file? Why do you need? What is the requirement of file in programming? Okay. So because of in as of now we are handling certain programs in Python. This program make use of some variables or some data structures to holding data. Okay, so using some variables or some data structure like string or a list or tuples or dictionary to holding or storing the data for the processing. Okay, if it is small numbers, it is okay for storing the data in variables. Suppose the data is very huge amount of data going to be processed in that program, it become very difficult, right? So this is one reason for moving a file concept in programming. The another one is very, very important. Okay, whenever you are going to storing data into the variable or data structures, it is only available during the execution of the program. Once the program is completed, automatically all the data gone. Why? Because of all the values of data stored in the variable, which is available on only the volatile memory. So do you know what do you mean by volatile memory, right? Once system is turned off, so automatically content of the memory is automatically erased. For example, if you are storing the data in the RAM, once you are done the programs, completing the programs, automatically all the values stored in the variable is gone. Okay. So that is another reasons. The first reason is whenever the applications or program require more number of data, it is very difficult for storing more number of variables in all the data. The another thing is I want to data in persistent way. The persistence means data stored in the permanent manner. Okay. Then next arises on questions. Then how do you storing the data in permanent manner, sir? I will take long. Okay. So that's why your data is going to be stored in non-volatile memory. For example, generally in the secondary storage devices attached to the computer is called as a secondary memories. For example, hard disk. Okay. So whenever your data going to be move on to hard disk or secondary memory device of computer, the data is kept in permanent manner, right? So what is a necessity of file required in programming? The first thing is whenever the application require more number of data, it is very difficult to storing the data in the variable. So in that time, we need certain other mechanisms for storing the large volume of data. That is a one purpose. The file concept is required in programming. What about another method is we want to storing your data in permanent manner. Definitely, we need a mechanism of files. Okay. It is not only a solution for storing the data in permanent manner. There is a number of way to storing the data in permanent manner. In upcoming classes, the data is stored in the database itself. Also, for storing the data in permanent manner, that will be discussed on tomorrow session, right? Today, we are only focused on how the data is stored and data is retrieved or read and write operation take place on the file in Python, right? So that is a need of the file, right? So next move on to the types of files. Okay, what is the types of file? Generally in computers, there are a number of types of files handled in the computer system. Look at that screen. In Windows, there are a variety of files handled in Windows system, like image file, text file, executable file, audio file, video file. There are several type of files managed by the Windows system. Not only Windows system, any kind of systems. Okay, but in Python, it is only handle the all type of files in only into the two categories of files. Okay, one is a text file, another one is a binary files. Okay, so first look at that. What do you mean by text files? Okay, text file is implies the meaning. We want to storing all the things, all the characters in the text format. Okay, so each of the text is terminated with a special characters. How do you understanding that Python interpreters ending the data or not for each and every line? There is some special characters called EOL, end of line, or it is another special characters or /n. It is understood by the Python interpreters. Okay. Then binary files. This type of file is there is no terminator for the line. The data is stored after converting it into the machine understandable form. Generally, the binary file is understood by the machine language, not human understandable form by in nature, right? Human machine understandable means the binary file in terms of zeros and ones. Okay. So what is the difference between text file and binary files? By default, text files there is no special kind of things required for reading and writing or viewing the data. But whereas in binary files, definitely need certain kind of special software things for reading and writing or understandable form. Okay. Just look at that text files. Here, the text files having a specific encoding that can be opened using the text editors. So more than enough, the text editor is more than enough for reading and writing the data in the form of text. Okay. So what are the general text files available in the system? For example, in web standards, we are make use of HTML files, XML file, CSS file, JSON file. So these are the kind of files used in the web related things. Another thing is source code. Whenever you are going to write any program in particular languages, you can store as some extension. For example, if you are writing the program in Python, you can store as .py as a extensions. If it is in C, stored as a file in .c. So likewise, there are certain sources of programs stored in this manner. Now another type of file like documents file like text, txt, text file, RTF file, etc. And another some specific formatted way to store the data in formatted way means the data is stored in the tabular form. Okay. For example, tabular data like CSV or TSV, etc. CSV is comma separator values, tab separator values. So these are the some tabular view of data stored, right? Apart from that, there are certain configuration files used in every application or every software installed in the computers. Okay, so this is some text files. The other examples for the binary files. So most of our computer systems in the form of binary files only. Okay. For example, if you are want to documented files like PDF document by XLS and image file like say PNG, JPEG files, bitmap files, and video file MP3, MP4 like this. Okay, audio files and database files, archive files, and executable files. These are the various categories of binary type of files. So all the binary means it is a form of zeros and ones. So the special kind of things required for opening the file or manipulating this file. For example, if you want to open document DOC file, definitely we need some Word softwares required to open that contents. If it is a PDF file, definitely some special kind of software is required. So these kind of files need certain special software to manipulating the things. Okay. Whereas in text files, there is no special kind of software is required. By default, there is a simple editors is required to manipulating the data, right? Now move on to file access mode. Okay, because file is a very important and sensitive resources in programming, right? Because we are storing some sensitive data on that file, so that we have to restricting for accessing. Okay, there are different way we are going to opening the file or manipulating the files. Okay, so for that we need some access control over it. Okay. So that we are going to discuss some what are the different way to opening or closing the files in the topic of file access mode, right? For example, I already told that there are two types of files supported in Python. One is a text file, another one is a binary files. Okay. For in case of text files, so what are the different mode operations are supported, right? For example, or. So characters R is representing what means if we are opening the files for read operations, you can put file mode as a R. Okay. If we are missing any file mode specified in that particular code, it is automatically taken as a read only mode, right? By default, right? So another mode of operations called W. W is nothing but a writing. So whenever you are opening the files for writing purpose, you put W as a file mode. Okay. So that is a very important aspect of the file mode. Next one is here X. X is representing for the opening the file for the exclusive creations. So for first time you are opening for creating the new file, you can use X as a file mode. Okay. Suppose if the file already exists, the operations fails. For example, in case if you are put a W in opening the file is already does not exist, means it's automatically file will be created. For in case of X, that is for creation of new file, the file does not exist means it is returns fail. Okay. So next one is here. Sometimes after obtaining writing some data in that file, later on we are adding certain additional informations, add on certain additional or update required on the same file. Means that time we are going to opening the file with append mode. Okay. So for that purpose, we are using A. Okay. So A is nothing but a appending. Usually while opening the file, in the mode of append mode, it is A. Automatically the file is open at the end of the file. Okay, now because we are going to adding a new content at the end of the file only. Okay, so that it is not only for 4 or 5 mode of operation. There are n number of mode of operations. For simplicity, we are providing only the limited file mode operation. In another sides, for example, if you are make use of binary files, how do you representing the mode of operations, sir? Okay, very simple. The character B is at the end of every mode. Okay, for example, WP means we are trying to open the file with the write only mode in binary format. It is called as a WP. If we want to opening the binary file for reading purpose, you mention RB. Okay. Likewise, we are opening the same binary file for appending, means you can specify it as a B. Okay. The small thing is only the B character B is at the end of all the mode operations. Okay. So now more very important part of our today's sessions. How do you handling the files in Python? So For handling the files, we need certain, in another important thing is, in other languages, for handling the files, somewhat difficult. Somewhat difficult means we can make use of a lot of code for handling the files in other languages. But in Python, it is a very simple way to handling the files. Why? Because of the Python providing a built-in functions, built-in methods for handling the file in easier manner. Okay. So that what are the, we try to understand first, what are the built-in methods supported for handling the files in Python. So for that reason, now we are going to discuss about what are the various operations or what are the various methods supported for handling or manipulating the files in Python, right? For the purpose creating or opening the files, reading and writing the files, and finally we are closing the files. These are the basic fundamental operations required on the file concept. So start with how do you open the files? Okay. So what are the various methods supported for opening the files? Okay. So open method is very simple syntax over for opening the file. Start with file objects. In left side, it is called as a file object. It is like a variable. Okay. Then equal to the method name is say open. In Python is a very English-like language. It's easy to understand by every users. Means you use some basic words, English words used to writing the code in Python. Okay. So that if you want to open the particular files, you can make use of the word open. Okay. The open method having a two parameters. One is a file name, that is representing the name of the file. The another one is a mode. I already discussed what are the different types of mode. So mode for what purpose we are going to open the files, whether it is a read purpose or writing purpose or appending purpose. So both read and write operations. So based on that, we have to specify the mode here. Okay. Right. For example, we are creating one open methods f equal to open of test.txt. So now only you say that, sir, open method having a two parameters, one is a file name, another one is a mode. But in your example, the open method, first example, open method contains only one parameters. Why? Because of by default, we are not mentioning any mode of operations for while opening the file. By default, it is taken as a read only. Okay. So read only file. Okay. Once you are not specifying any mode in open method, so automatically the file is open for the read only purpose. Okay. That's why it is one of the important things, right? So first example is f equal to open up test.dxe. Test.dxe is a name of the file we are going to open with the mode of read only, that is R. Okay. So another way to open the files, the first one, there is no path, actual path of the file. So path of the file is very important. The second example, that is f equal to open of, I specified certain path, C:python 38 readme.dxt. So readme.dxt is the name of the file. C:/python 38 is a path of the file, actual path of the particular file readme.dxt. So either you can use, if your current working directory and the file irundhuduna, no need to specify any path. Okay. Suppose I want to store in specific location of my system, definitely you have to mention the path of the file. There is some options are there. Whether you are going to handling the files in current working directory, no need to mention any path. If you want to store your file in specific location, now you should mention say full path. Okay. So next, third one is here. Third option is f equal to open test.txt comma w. Here we are mentioning that opening once open the file along with the file mode. Here a file mode is a W. So W is nothing but a write only mode. We are going to write the particular files. Definitely you should write open the file with the file mode of W. W nothing but a write only. Okay. So next going to once open the file successfully, okay, then what are the operation to be take place? What are the manipulations are done on the files? Okay, so the first thing is you have to write something on the files. Okay, for writing purpose, Python support a method called. There are two version of write method is supported in Python. One is write, another one is write lines. Okay. So then you can check what are the difference between write and write lines method. The sessions goes on. Okay. So first of all, if you want to write a content or write a something or data into the file, you can make use of one method called write, either write or write lines based on the conditions. Okay. First look at that write methods. Okay. So for example, if before going to open or writing something on the file, you should open the file in write mode. So that f equal to open test.txt, comma w. That means the test.txt is my file for writing purpose. That is the meaning of the first line. The second line, once open the file successfully for the write mode, then we are going to write something on it. Okay. For that reason, f.write. Write is a one method for writing the data onto the file. Okay. For example, f.write of hello world. I can write the one line of text hello world. Okay. So onto the file test.txt. Next, I want to write another line of text on the same file. F.write of hello Python. So first line of the text file one the hello world, second line one the file one the hello Python. There are two lines of text on the written onto the test.txt. So for that purpose, we are written this way. Okay. Suppose I want to write some group of words, a group of lines of code, lines of text at the same time to write onto the file. Abhina, what is things required for the Python means you can use another version of write method called write lines. Okay, that is called write lines. For example, I want to writing the group of elements or collection of elements into the file test.txt. First, you have to mention that what is the collections you are going to write on your files. For example, in this case, we are creating one fruits. In that fruits contains apple, orange, grapes, and watermelon. Okay, so this is the one collections are created. Then open your file for write mode. So that f equal to open test.txt and write mode means w. Okay. Then immediately you can give a f.write lines of fruits. So fruit is nothing but not a single items. It is a group of items. All the group of items stored on the files at the same time. Okay. For example, previous case la parunga, hello world, hello Python. There are two separate write statement is required for appending or writing into the files. But whereas in this case, there are four elements like apple, orange, grapes, watermelon. All four elements write it into the same time. So that's why we are using the write lines methods. So what is the difference between write and write lines? Write is a single word or single line of things going to be right, whereas write lines more than one lines of things going to be right at the same time, right? So next thing is read. Okay, read operations. Okay, so once things are written in the files, in later on we are able to retrieving the information from the files. So that for the purpose, Python support another method called read methods. In Python support, there are three versions of read methods. Okay, let me discuss one by one. Okay, so basically read methods means it is used to reading the content of the files. Okay, so in that Python supporting three version of read. One is read, just a read of n, and second version is read line. Okay, and third one is a read lines. Okay. So what is the difference among these version is very, very simple. First look at that read methods. Okay. Read means nothing but you can read all the contents from the files. Very simple. Read everything from the files. Okay, from starting to end. That is the meaning of read operations. Okay. For example, here we are opening the files for the reading purpose. Definitely, while opening the files, you should specify or you are missing that write mode mode operations. Automatically it is open file and reading only. Okay, no issues for while opening the file for reading purpose. Okay, you just print f dot read off. Okay, so immediately all the content from the file from starting to end automatically printed. So this is the purpose of the read methods. Okay, suppose I want only the specific characters of the files from the file going to be printed. Abdina, you have to mention the f dot read off, for example 5. Okay, so previous example I can store, for example, first line hello world. Okay, so assume that there is a file test.dxe which contains hello world. Okay, so in that situation I can give a print f dot read of 5 means it returns only the hello, because hello contains 5 characters long. Okay, hello, hello only, because your file contains hello world, but you are printing only reading only the 5 characters from that file. So that f dot read of 5 means you can reading the 5 characters from the particular files. Okay, so next one is a read line. Read line methods obviously implicit the meaning for line by line reading. The file contains lot of lines. Okay, group of lines in your file. If you want to reading line by line means we can make use of the read line methods. Okay, very simple. Read line method is purpose of reading the line by line manners. Okay, suppose the same things required, but all the lines should be printed means you can make use of the read lines. So read line at a time ஒரே ஒரு லைனை மட்டும் print பண்ணும். Read lines வந்து from starting ல இருந்து end வரைக்கும் line by line print பண்ணிடும். Okay, I can check with some practical way in upcoming section. Okay, no issues. Okay. So next we are going to discuss about the another type of operations going to done on file concept. Suppose I already given certain name for the particular files. For example, test.txt. Okay, I want to changing the some meaningful manner for the particular files. Whether it is supporting for renaming our resources possible in Python. Yes, there is a possibilities for renaming your resources. Resources means here file. Okay, so that rename is one of the methods available in the OS model. How many of you aware about the OS model in Python? Okay, so it is one of the important model. OS is nothing but a operating system related operations going to be used in Python. In that time we have to importing one of the model called the OS model. So OS model is having a certain built-in methods. One of the methods now rename methods. Basically, what is the purpose of OS model? Through Python we can implementing certain OS related tasks. Okay, because OS only helping for renaming or handling the files in your particular system. Okay, without the help of OS, the programming language can't do anything, right? So that if you want to interacting any devices in the computers, definitely with the help of OS only. So any OS related task to performed by your programming, definitely you should import certain OS model. Okay, so I want to renaming for my file in the particular file system. Definitely with the support of OS model. So that before going to use a rename method in your code, you should importing the one of the model called OS. Okay, so just what is a syntax over the rename method is os.rename. So once importing the OS, then os.rename. There are two parameters. The first parameter is what is the current file name. Okay, Then second parameter is representing the what is the new file name required for the current file. Okay. For example, example one paranga, first import OS, then OS dot rename, followed by already our original file name is a test.dxe. I wanted to renaming it into test1.dxt. Okay. The first parameter is representing the current file name, original file name. Then second parameter representing the name to be changed for the purpose. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes your file is stored in specific path, specific memory locations. You got to mention in the full path of the locations, then you can change it accordingly. Okay. Once all the operations done on the files, okay, done on, for example, creating a files, opening the files, reading the files, changing the file names. So there are several operations done on that files. And finally, I wanted to remove my files from the file system completely. There is a possibilities are there in Python. Yes, there is some possibilities. Again, this type of methods also supported one of the method from the OS model. Okay, there is a method called remove method. Okay, there is a method called remove methods. Remove methods going to deleting your file from the particular locations in the system. Okay, so what is a syntax over the remove method means os dot remove of, you can mention the name of the files going to be removed. Okay, for example, example one pathina import OS, then os.remove test.dx. So automatically the test1.dx removed or deleted from completely from the system. Okay. If you want to specify the complete path of the file, you can. It is also possible to specify in the remove methods. Okay. So better we can move for practical sessions. So first things, here I can today I can use the IDE, Python IDE for handling the files because of my files are handled in local system. That's why I can avoiding Google Colab environment, right? So this is my IDE. I can type. This is my editor for writing the Python code. The first thing is we want to open a file in write mode. Okay, so what is the purpose of, for example, what is the syntax over that? We first mention the file objects, name of the objects. For example, F is a name of the file objects. So what is the functions used for that open? So open is a one method supported for the opening the files. Okay. So that in open methods, there are two parameters supported. The first parameter is named as name of the files. For example, I can give a name file demo. Okay. So you got to mention compulsory, you got to mention that extension of the file, right? So my file name is file demo.dxt. Then followed by the what is the second parameters required for opening the file means mode of files. Okay, I can give W. Okay. Okay. So what is this line of Python code means? So we are going to open one file named as file demo.dxt with file mode of W. Okay. So just enter. Whenever we are going to open files, once the file operation is done, so automatically your file will be closed. So it is a mandatory to close your files for each and every time for manipulating the files, because of our safety purpose. Once done the work, you have to close. Okay. So that what is a method for closing your file? For example, close close off functions. Okay. Here nothing to do on your file, just to opening the files. That's it. You run on it first of all. So before that, you can save your files here. So this is my locations. This is my current working directory, right? So that I simply give a name of the files. For example, P1, right? My name of the Python file is P1 with the extension of .py. It is automatically taken. My current working directory in the locations. Okay, that's why I no need to mention any path here, right? So file is saved. Okay, you just click on run. So nothing to display. What? Because we are not done anything. Okay, just opening one file. You just look at that. Okay. So what is the name of the file I created? File demo. Look at that file demo. Here, name of the file found file demo. Just now through your Python code, create one file that is a file demo. You can just click on that file, nothing to there, right? Because just now you are creating the file with the write mode. You opening the new file only. Okay. So suppose I wanted to type here, for example, follow. Okay, I can just type hello world and save it. Then close, right? So now we move for the same files. Okay. Now the file is open for the read-only purpose. Okay. So that we can changing the mode. For example, f equal to open. The file name is the same file name, file demo.txt. But this time we are trying to open the same file with the write mode R. Okay. So that once save it and then run. Nothing to display here. Why? Because of you are not retrieving any information. You are just writing the things only for the opening the file for read-only purpose, not retrieving any information from that file. That's why nothing to print here. Okay. So suppose I wanted to read some data from that file, and then I can go to read. Okay. For example, print. So what is a method supported for reading the data from the files? Yes, it is a read methods. Correct. There is one method called read methods. Correct or not? Okay. So now you are going to run the same program. So now you are got hello world. The hello world is already typed in manually in the file. Okay, write it now. Hello world is who is actually typed. Okay, myself manually typed in that file the word hello world. But in Python, through Python code, we can get the data. Okay, so we are first time we are opening the file demo file for read only purpose. Then you can f.read. Okay. So that while opening the file, you aware about or careful about the mentioning the file mode, because you are instead of R, you are given W means the content automatically erased. The new file is open. That is one of the important things for the file demo. Okay. So now move for, I already told that if you are read functions, reading entire things from the file. Suppose I want to read only the particular characters. I can mention here print f.read of file. Okay. So now what is the expected output for this? Here only hello. Why? Because the previous read functions produce the result of hello world. That means all the contents from the file is displayed. But this time we are only having only hello, because of we are restricted the read operations with the maximum of 5 characters. So that Okay. So next move for read lines operations. Okay. Read lines operation. How do you, for example, I can move for again open the files. Our file is file demo, which contains only one line of code. I can type more than one lines here. Right? For example, welcome to SRM. For example, I love Python. Okay. I can add 2 more lines of text in that file demo files. I can save it now. Okay. So I wanted to display the all the lines of code, all the lines of content from this file. I can move for what are the changes required. You just read lines. Okay. So read line is another options. Okay. For example, sorry, yes. Okay. So how do you display the read lines function? Read line functions you put to all the content as a group or collection or data structures or list. Okay. So first thing is you have to first line of code will be stored on the 0th position of the collections, including the new line characters. Because by default every end of the lines it is automatically adding the special character /n. Okay. Or EOL characters, EO end of line characters. So next lines put in the second position of the collection. The third line of text on the put on the. So for the manipulation of text files, it become very easier manner because of your all the lines of code. Because text file is not a formatted file. Okay? So if you want to manipulating files in useful manner, definitely read lines function supported for that. Okay. This is another examples for manipulating the files. Okay. Next move for the how do you write? Because I writing the content directly to the files, but not through the Python code. So now move on to how do you write the contents from for the. Okay. So how do you write? Okay. So for example, already there are 3 lines of text in my file demo. Now I wanted to add some additional lines of text onto the same file. What are the things to be needed here? First of all, I already told that while opening the file, you should care about file mode. Okay. So now I can appending the files. Okay. Because already a file contains 3 lines of text. Now I move for appending. So what is a characters used for representing the appending the files? A is here characters for appending the file. Okay. இந்த ஃபைலை நான் வந்து இப்போ அப்பன் மோட்ல ஓப்பன் பண்ண போறேன் அப்படின்னா நீங்க மோட் ஆஃப் ஆப்ரேஷன் வந்து இங்க கரெக்டா கொடுக்கணும். ஓகே. So that I can mention what is the purpose of for opening this file? I can add certain things additional new things added into my files. For that reasons, I can go for opening the same file demo.txt. So what is the command methods used for writing the data into the file? Obviously, write methods. So there are 2 options are there. One is a write, simple write. Another one is a write line function. Okay. So how do you write the things? F dot. Because you use object. File object is very, very important. Once the file is opened successfully for the append mode, it is referred through one object called F. Okay. F is a name of the object. Any name, not F only. Any variable name. Okay. You can give for your file objects. So I given only F. Don't think about F is a keyword, right? So F is a name of the file object. That's it. Okay. So through name of the file object, we can call the write methods now. Write. Okay. I can write, for example, so I can my new line is entered into the fresh line, means you can put a /n. Okay. For example, I can type all the best. Okay. Then close it. What does here? Again, open the same file, file demo.exe, but the file mode on the A for what append mode. Okay. So once open the file in append mode, you can write anything, any new things onto the file through the method called write methods. Okay. Now you are simply writing the new contents, right? But you are open the file mode of A, but if you want to read all the things, means again you are opening your file in read mode. Okay, so that f equal to open the same file. Okay. But this time you are writing reading file purpose. Then you can run. Just a minute. Okay, I missed the closing parenthesis. So this time you can add a new line that is all the best. It is at the end of the existing file. Now once appending the new text, it is come out in the results. Okay, hello world, welcome to SRM, I love Python, and all the best. Okay, so this is the things we have to done here. Okay. So next I move, how do you make use of write line operations? Okay, here you are only write the new things. Okay, suppose I want to some collection of words into the file at the same time. In that situation, you can use another form of write operation that is called as a what? Write lines. Okay, so how do you make use of write line operations? Before that, I can. What is a word going to be entered? Okay, for example, so word list is my collections. In that we are going to given. So every word you can in new line means you put a /n. Okay. For example, I can give word 1. Okay. Then separated by comma. If you want to add more than one word, means you can separate it by comma. Then, for example, word 2, right? Then close it. So first of all, we have to mention your word list, which contains 2 words, word 1 and word 2. After that, you can call. No need to write one by one. Okay. So at the same time, you have to write all the things, means you have to write it, write lines. So WRITELINES, write lines of, you have to mention the what? Word list. Okay. Word list. Okay. So instead of writing one by one, you can writing all the collections into the file at the same time. So for that purpose, I can create a word list. So word list contains, there are 2 words, and the 2 words going to be written now. Okay. For that writing purpose, you are going to open the file demo.exe in the A mode. A means append mode. Okay. So now you can add it at the end word 1 and word 2. Okay, your file is already contains 5 lines of text. Now you added 2 more words in that files, right? So now move for the how do you rename it, sir? Okay, so renaming the files. Okay, so rename purpose, I can already told that one of the module is supported for rename operation, delete operations of the file. Okay, so for that purpose, I can import one module called OS. Then you can OS dot rename. Okay, so what is our name of the file? Already just now we have created demo file, right? So .dxt. So extension is compulsory provided while referring the particular files. Okay. So our file name, original file name is a demo file .dxt. Then I can changing the original file. Okay. For example, demo file 1.dxt. Okay. So rename operations on the method having a two parameters. First parameter is called as a original file name. That's why I given demo file.dxt. Second parameter is representing the what is the name of the new file name. Okay, I can given demo file 1.dxt. Okay. There is certain errors. The system cannot find file procedure demo file.txt. What's the name of my file? Just tell me. File demo, sorry. Okay. Not demo file. I can given wrongly. File demo. Okay. Here we can given any name. No issues. Okay. So first original file demo.dxt, and the new file name on the file demo1.dxt. Now you can run. Okay, nothing to display because you are just changing the name of the source file. How do you check, sir? Okay, you can go to our destination spot. Here now, check it out. The original already file name is file demo only, but after executing this Python code, automatically your original source file is changed as a file demo 1, right? So finally, you can move for deleting the files. Once done the things, okay, file demo file is contains lot of things. Okay, but I wanted to delete from this demo file from my system. So what is the command over it? You just call one file method remove. Okay, remove of what? You just given your original name. Okay, what's the name of the file? File demo 1. So now your file name is changed, so that your file name is file demo 1 only. Okay. So os dot remove file demo 1 dot. Okay, then the things are done. Check it out our directory, working directory. There is no file demo 1 file found in your current working directory. Okay, so automatically remove all your file is gone, right? Deleted. So this is some kind of operations. Now move on to some example. What are the other things to do done on our file? There is certain manipulations that take place on your files, because text file contains some not a formatted one. Okay, normal text file is just all the things are character. Things are treated as a character only. From that group of characters, we have to certain done some manipulations. For that reasons, I can show you some kind of, for example, your file contains some mixed of characters, numbers, so and so. Okay. For that, from that file, I can calculate the sum of numbers. So there is some group of numbers are there in your file. Only you can consider the summation for your numeric values. Okay, for that purpose you are going to execute this program. For example, I can give file pointer file equal to open of gfg.dxe. There is a one file gfg.dxe I can use for this program with the write mode. So data going to be write on this gfc files. Okay, data equal to kicks 1 2. There is some mixed up numbers, characters, and all. Okay. For example, how many numbers are there? 1 2 8 8 3 2. Okay. I wanted to summing all the numbers from this data. Only consider for summation வந்து என்ன பண்றோம், numbers மட்டும் calculate பண்ணி result கொண்டு வர போறோம். அதுக்காக this program going to be implemented. Okay. So the original content of the file is this one. This data contains some numbers, numeric values. Okay. So you can calculate the sum of numbers. Okay. For that reasons, first of all, I wanted to write the data into the files. Already my file name is jfg.dx ன்னு ஒரு files வச்சிருக்கோம். அந்த ஃபைல்ல வந்து இந்த கண்டென்ட்டை கொண்டு நான் ரைட் பண்ண போறேன். So for writing purpose, you can call the write methods of data. Automatically the data will be added in your files. Why you are moving the data into the files? Because of the file is saved permanently in the system. For the future purpose, we can recollect things. If it is not using any file concept, we only storing the data in your variable. Once program is completed, the data is gone automatically because of the data is by nature we are storing in the RAM only. RAM is a volatile memory. Those that once complete the program, automatically data will be erased. Okay, that's why we are moving the data into the file concept, right? Okay, file is once written the files, then close it immediately. Okay, then open for again the same file with the read more operation. So எதுக்காக read mode operations, நான் வந்து content of the file read பண்ண போறேன், அதுக்காக நான் read mode open பண்றேன். Okay, now you can lines வந்து என்ன பண்றோம், அதுல இருக்கிற எல்லா lines read பண்ண போறோம். So complete one timeல என்ன பண்றோம், at the same time all the contents from the file வந்து readed அப்படின்னா டெஃபினட்டா என்ன பண்றோம், read lines ஃபங்க்ஷனை யூஸ் பண்ணி அதை வந்து locally we can available content அப்படிங்கிறது லோக்கலா நம்ம டேட்டாபேஸ்ல ஃபைல்ல இருந்து ரீட் பண்ண கண்டென்ட்டை வந்து இந்த கண்டென்ட்ல கொண்டு வந்துட்டோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் a equal to 0 for the summation for using the for loop for line in content. ஸோ ஒரு அந்த கண்டென்ட்ல என்ன இருக்கும், அந்த ஃபைல்ல இருக்கிற எல்லா கேரக்டர்ஸும் அதுல இருக்கும். ஸோ நான் லைன் பை லைன் என்ன பண்ண போறேன், அந்த டேட்டாவை ரீட் பண்ணி வெதர் இட் இஸ் செக் ஃபார் தி டிஜிட்ஸ் ஆர் நாட் அப்படின்னு செக் பண்ண போறேன். ஃபார் தட் பர்பஸ் வி கேன் செக் கால் ஒன் ஃபங்க்ஷன் கால் ஈஸ் டிஜிட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு மெத்தட் இருக்கு. அதோட பர்பஸ் வந்து இட் எவால்வேட்டட் இட் இஸ் ரிட்டன் ட்ரூ மீன்ஸ் இட் இஸ் டிஜிட்ஸ், அதர்வைஸ் இட்ஸ் நாட் எ டிஜிட்ஸ். I want only the confirming the digits first of all, you know, because it is considered for your sum of n numbers. Okay, once it is condition is true means it is a digits, so that consider for the summation. Okay, calculating for summation. Okay, so this is the way we are going to deal the things in the file. I can show you. I can for example, I can already store this file. So this the same programs are already saved in the file. You just straight away going to run. Okay, the sum is 30. Okay, why sum is 30? Because your file contains the data. For example, first numbers 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 8 11, 11 plus 8 19, 19 plus 3 22, 22 plus 24 28 30. Okay, all the digits will be calculated for the sum. This is a one important programs used in the file concept. I can show you the another program. So not only for the normal core text files, plain text files மட்டும்தான் நம்ம பைத்தான்ல யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும் கிடையாது. Some formatted files also used for reading and writing of files. So best example for formatted files, CSV file, DSV files இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு.
Sir, Shiva sir. Students, just a minute. Sir is facing some network issue.
Now, okay, sir. Now visible.
It is okay, sir. It is okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. So now move for another example. The file original file is a CSV file. CSV is nothing but a comma separated file. It is like a spreadsheet file. All the data from this file in the tabular form. Okay. So how do you use CSV file for manipulating the file? First, before that, in that file operations, we required one model called CSV. So CSV model is used for reading, writing the content from the CSV files. For that, we have to import, because here the CSV model providing reader and writer streams for manipulation of the files. Okay. For that reasons, I can import CSV model first. Then we can open the file. I already CSV file is there, my directory. I can show you. For example, here people.csv files. Okay, which contains some data in the tabular form. For example, here a name, age, and professions. So there are 3 columns are there. 2 rows are there. Okay, there are 2 values in the 3 columns of data. Okay, so people.csv file is there in my folder. Okay, so you just open the people.csv files for the reading purpose. Okay, so reading file here we are using a with statements. So what is the purpose of with statement? Means while opening a file, once you complete the operations on the file, you immediately close the files. But in case of with operations, with the statement, no need to close your file explicitly, because it is automatically closed in with the statement itself. Okay, that's one of the advantages of with the statement. Not only the automatic closing the files, if you have your setup block of statements going to be used for manipulating the files, that time also you can use with statement. Okay, so for that I can use with statement with open people.csv file for reading purpose as a file. Okay, so file is nothing but a object of the, for example, f equal to open as file. So file is a file objects. Okay, I already told that CSV is a formatted file, so that we need some reader and writer objects for CSV files. Okay, so that I can create a reader objects. How do you creating a reader object? Reader equal to CSV dot reader of file. Okay, so on the file reader object create pannirrom. So using this reader object, we can printing the data from the CSV. So there are n number of elements data are there in the people.csv, so that I can use for loop. Okay, how do you printing the all the data from the CSV? I can use the for loop. Okay, for each and every row you have to print. Okay, so that for row in reader. So first என்ன இருக்கும், நம்மளோட ஹெடர் இருக்கும், நேம் இருக்கும், ஏஜ் இருக்கும், ப்ரொஃபஷன்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிரிண்ட் பண்றோம். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் another rows. Okay, another rowsல என்ன இருக்கும், values இருக்கும். Okay, so அதை print பண்றோம். Okay, so once நம்ம CSV ஃபைலை ஓபன் பண்றோம், அதுல இருக்கிற டேட்டாவை ரீட் பண்ணி print பண்றோம். இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேஸ். நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்றோம், சப்போஸ் not only for reading the data from CSV file, also writing also possible through CSV. So that's why I can open again the same file, but this time I can open with the append operations. Because the file already 2 row பார்த்தோம், இப்போ வந்து நான் வந்து புதுசா ஒரு நியூ ரோ ஒன்று கிரியேட் பண்ண போறேன் அப்படிங்கிறத கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஸோ தட் ரைட்டிங் பர்பஸ் வி நீட் ரைட்டர் ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் தேவைப்படுது. அதனால ரைட்டர் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிரியேட் பண்றோம். அதுல வி கேன் ரைட் அ நியூ ரோ. ஓகே, அதுல வந்து நான் வந்து நியூ ரோ ஒன்று கிரியேட் பண்ண போறேன். அதுல வந்து நேம் ஆஃப் தி பர்சன் வந்து தருண் அண்ட் ஏஜ் ஆஃப் தி பர்சன் 14 அண்ட் ப்ரொஃபஷன் வந்து கியூபர் அப்படின்னு போட்டிருக்கேன். ஓகே, so once this new records inserted into the CSV file, then again open for the what same file for the reading purpose. So this time you can print all the details from the CSV files. Okay, so I can move for demo. Okay, I can already save this file, my folder name. Okay, so okay, so I already told that people.csv file is there in my folder. I can show once again. So this is my file which contains the CSV file contains name, age, professions with the 2 records. Okay, there are 2 records only in my file. Okay, now I can run the program. Okay, okay, for first time I can print all the values of name, age, professions with the 2 rows. Jack, Miller avanga rendu varoda details print pannirkom. Again I can write one more new records in that file. Tarun 14 Guber vandu new records. For third time second time print agumbodhu there are 3 records vandu print agudhu. Okay, for first time vandu only 2 records. After entering the new records we can show you the all 3 records. Okay, so this is another version. I can show you some binary form of data. Still, as of now, you are manipulating the text files. I can showing some how do you demonstrate other type of files like binary file. Okay, for the sake of simplicity, I can use some binary files. For example, I can named as bfile.bin. For opening for because I already told that if you are opening the binary file, the mode vandu WP plus அப்படினா என்ன மீனிங்னா writing and reading both will be done on the binary files. So for that reasons WB னு கொடுத்தா என்ன மீனிங் write binary file னு அர்த்தம். பட் பிளஸ் கொடுத்தா என்ன அர்த்தம் both write and read operations take place. Plus வந்து always not only for binary file, it also applicable for text files. So plus symbols நம்ம போட்ட R plus னு போட்டா என்ன மீனிங் it is allowed for reading and writing operation அர்த்தம். Okay, so that I can give a bin file message contains hello python adala போட்டிருக்கோம். So in binary files, not simply writing the files, not simply writing the files. Before that, we have to explicitly encoding your data into the files. Before writing the content, original content, you have to encoding first. Okay, encoding is nothing but converting the data into the machine understandable form. That's the meaning of encoding. Once written the data, encoded data in your file, while reading the data, before that you have to decoding first. Because why? Because decoding we are machine understandable form to human understandable form, so that you can go decoding and encoding in explicit manner. Okay, so you can run this program. So automatically it is a print, okay, normal data before encoding takes place. Here my encoding techniques வந்து by default நான் என்ன பண்ணிருக்கேன் ASCII code encoding நான் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன். நிறைய encoding formats எல்லாம் நம்ம பார்த்திருப்போம். ஸோ இதுல வந்து நான் ASCII encodings யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு encode பண்ணியாச்சு before writing the original content into the file. So before displaying my original data, you can decode it first. Okay, so this is the things required for operating the binary file of Python. Okay, in case of text file, no explicit encoding decoding is required, because it is editor, basic editor itself, the things are done. Okay, I think it is now in my sessions. If you have any doubt, you can go for it. Right? Uday Kumar sir. Sir, Uday Kumar sir.
Sir, yes sir, yes sir. I just post the feedback link, sir.
Okay sir, okay sir.
Okay. Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask Siva sir now. If you have any queries, you can ask Siva sir. If you have any queries, you can ask now.
So dear students, one important informations, all the students attending all the session of 10 days summer camp for Python for beginners. Okay, so your feedback form submitted means it is considered for your generation of your certifications. Okay, so that all the students attended all the session of 10 days and also attend the things in on time. So this is a kind request for all the students, right?
Sir, we can announce tomorrow there is no class because it is Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. Participants, tomorrow there is no class. We can join on Monday. We will send the meeting invite link in WhatsApp group, official Python for Beginners WhatsApp group. So it's begin Sunday, tomorrow no class. Okay. There is an yes. You can unmute yourself and you can tell yes. Yes, Induja, you have just unmute yourself. Wait, I given access. Okay. Any other queries? For research scholar option, you can select. Okay, you can select UG. We will consider that. You can change it as research scholar. Your name is Kritika, is it right? Okay, we can change. We can change it off. Okay, no issues. Okay. Okay, sir, there is no query, sir, I think.
Once again, I inform you regarding the certifications. What are the constraints, sir? You can inform your students once again, sir.
See, the constraints is based on you have to attend all the 10 days session. Okay, the first thing you need to attend all the 10 days session. You need to complete the feedback form. Okay, we are getting around 80% of attendance. It is mandatory. So for attending Python for Beginners course. Next, you have to join on time. If it is the class from 11 to 12, you have to join at 11:55. Okay, we have given a YouTube live link. So we are going to switch on the live link at 11:55. So 10:55, we have to join on time. Okay, moreover, while you're filling your feedback form, your email ID should be in proper manner. Okay, so most of the students, they have given incorrect email ID. So for certificate generation, once we are generated the certificate, so we need to send certificate through email. Okay, if it is an incorrect email, you will not receive your certificate. Okay, so please make sure that your data, while entering your feedback form, your data should be in proper manner. Okay, then we will at the end of the session. So tomorrow there is no class since it is Sunday. So from Monday we are going to continue the session. So in day 10 we have planned to give an assessment for Python for beginners from day 1 to day 10. So we will share the material. Siva sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Sir, when we will share the material, sir? At the day 10 or
10th day, end of the 10th day, sir.
Okay. So we will share the entire Python for Beginners materials on day 10. So you can download from our department blog. So we will send the link in WhatsApp group, and also we will send it is possible we can send email, but most probably we are going to send the link in WhatsApp group only. Okay, we can download the material for Python files, everything on that. Recorded session also we are going to link on that blog. So you can download the complete material. So at the end of the day 10, we have planned to give 50 questions. So based on assessment, you need to score at least. So we have planned to give 100 marks. So you just passing percentage will be 40 marks. Okay. So if you are getting 40 marks, you can get a certificate. So please make sure that attend all the session. So we will send the material on day 10. Okay. Yes, if there is any other doubts in YouTube chat box, you can ask this. I think. ஓகே நான் தமிழ்லேயே ஒரு சொல்லிடுறேன். ஸோ அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் 80% வந்து மேண்டேட்டரி. கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் வந்து 80% அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் இருக்கணும். எல்லா மெட்டீரியலும் ஸோ டே 1ல இருந்து டே 10 வரைக்கும் உள்ள எல்லா மெட்டீரியலும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா we are posting in our department blog. நம்ம எங்கள் SRM பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு blog இருக்கு, வெப்சைட் இருக்கு. ஸோ அதில் நாங்கள் பிளாகை நாங்கள் அந்த எல்லா கண்டென்ட்டும் நாங்கள் அதில் அப்லோட் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த லிங்கை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நம்மளோட வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்பில் நம்ம போட்டுருவோம். ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம பைத்தன் ஃபார் பிகினர்ஸ் வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்பில் போட்டுருவோம். யூ கேன் டவுன்லோட். ஸோ டே 10ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து we have given an assessment 50 questions இருக்கும், 100 marks. ஓகேவா? ஸோ 40 marks பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் வந்து எடுத்தாகணும். ஸோ இட் இஸ் மேண்டேட்ரி. 40 marks you need to get. ஓகே. ஸோ மோஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங் ஃபீட்பேக் ஃபார்ம் என்ட்ரி பண்ணும்போது உங்கள் இமெயில் ஐடியை ப்ராப்பராக என்ட்ரி பண்ணுங்க. பிகாஸ் சர்டிஃபிகேட் நாங்கள் அந்த கன்சர்ன் இமெயில் தான் நாங்கள் அனுப்ப முடியும். ஸோ இஃப் த இமெயில் ஐடி இஸ் இன்கரெக்ட், ஸோ யூ வில் நாட் ரிசீவ் எ சர்டிஃபிகேட். சர்டிஃபிகேட் உங்களுக்கு வராது. ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் மேக் ஷுர் தட் நீங்கள் கரெக்டான இமெயில் ஐடியை கொடுங்க. ஓகேவா? கிளியர்? ஸோ ஐ திங்க் I have covered everything about the constraints for the certificate generation. So when you give Python assignment on day 10, last day. So last day we are going to give. It is possible we can give some exemption. Okay, time கொடுக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Because maybe assessment பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 1 hour வரைக்கும் அது ஆக்டிவாக இருக்கும். ஓகே, 1 மேக்ஸ் 150 கொஸ்டின்ஸ்னால 1 hour ஆக்டிவாக இருக்கும். அந்த 1 hour நீங்கள் அதை முடிச்சுடணும் ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஃபுல். ஓகே. எஸ், எனி அதர் queries? Okay, fine. So I think we can end up the session, sir. I think no queries.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.